Tonight on Mixing Night, Grammy winner Ken Lewis welcomes 6 heavyweight mix engineers for Pro Mixer Night. Guests include Jeff Braun, JJ Blair, Ryan West, Bob Horn, DJ Swivel, and Preston Prizzie Reid joins us live to answer viewer chat roll questions. Tonight we give away a UAD Apollo Twin X at the end of the broadcast. It's your last chance. Enter now in description. Ken Sprint mixes Brooklyn Baby by Don't Believe in Ghosts, and we're giving away the Sprint mixing sessions to all viewers tonight. Try your own sprints at home. We give away 5 MixWave plugins of your choice, one at a time live throughout the night. Enter now in description. Ken mixes live and answers viewer questions. Tap in a friend. It's Mixing Night Pro Mixer Night. Hey, welcome to Mixing Night. Oh, I'm just getting settled in here. Oh my God, it is Pro Mixer Night. Whew, I'm your host, Ken Lewis, here with the lovable hellhound Mazzy, holding down treats and security. Tap in with a friend, pour a glass of wine, fire up your studio speakers or headphones, and settle in. It is Mixing Night. By the end of this monologue, it's going to feel like the Christmas episode for real. We have 3 huge giveaways going on tonight. I cannot wait. For Pro Mixer Night, I reached out to a few of my friends in this industry and asked them to contribute their next level talents to our community. Everybody said yes, of course. I have admired all these guys and their work for a long time. Me and Ryan West go back to the early 2000s working with Just Blaze. JJ Blair owns my favorite studio in LA, Fox Force 5 in the Hollywood Hills. JJ is a next level talent and so deeply knowledgeable about stuff that I have no idea about. Me and DJ Swivel go back to the NYC way back days. Bob Horn, my fellow Cincinnatian and fellow fader of the Lost Art. I went to New York, he went to LA, now I'm back in Ohio, and he'll eventually get back. Ryan West is from Ohio as well. So chat roll, are you ready, Ohioans? Chat roll. OH. Mazzy gets it. I-O. Jeff Braun I met a couple years ago. We were both students at the Mike Miller Atmos Masterclass. Jeff's resume is jaw-dropping along with his mixes. And Preston Prizzie Reid is a young killer with a ridiculous mixing resume. I've known him for a long time now. He really put in the work to get where he is now. He is live with me in 1 hour at 9 p.m. to answer viewer chat roll questions live. So get those questions ready for Prizzie. Tonight we are giving away a UAD Apollo Twin X. What? Yes, that is not... Yeah. Seriously, Universal will drop ship it anywhere in the world. The contest closes in 90 minutes. So I choose a winner at 9:45. You have 90 minutes to enter. And throughout tonight's broadcast, we will be giving away one of 5 MixWave plugin licenses of your choice. We are throwing down tonight. What? You can enter both of those contests right now. The links are in the description of the video you are watching right now. Go, enter, go, but come right back. Please come right back. Good luck tonight. The Sprint mix tonight is a song that I produced and co-wrote called Brooklyn Baby by my friends New York City rockers Don't Believe in Ghosts. They gave me permission to give you all the Brooklyn Baby Sprint mixing sessions for free tonight. So let me show you how it's done with the Jedi level, and then I'm going to give you guys a 6-level sprint from, if you've never mixed anything in your life and you really wanted to give it a shot, level 1 for you, baby. 10 minutes, 5 tracks, go. And every level you step up 5 more tracks. So you have level 1 is 5 tracks, level 6 is 30 tracks. You have 10 minutes on the clock. I have 10 minutes on this clock. I think I'm gonna do one quick thing before I do my sprint. Hold, live, and go. All right. Figured I'd get some Instagram Live love going. I am going to sprint mix Brooklyn Baby from Don't Believe in Ghosts. I'm giving you the sprint mix session in just after the sprint. And why sprint mixes, Ken? It is not so that I can get my work faster and go do something else. It is to train my instincts so that my first thought is on the music and reacting to what is happening musically coming out of the speakers, and my first thought is not on the tech. What plugin can I, manipulate this with? That who frickin' cares? I need to listen to the song and react to the song, and sprint mixing builds your instincts and your reaction times. And it allows much faster decision making. So it's boom, 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 decision, off to the races. Here we frickin' go. Welcome to Mixing Night. I'm Ken Lewis. I got Mazakeen with me here. It is Pro Mixer Night. It is on. And this is Brooklyn Baby. More cowbell.
Stop, shut alarm clock is waking you up out of your dreams again. Get up, make it stop, shut it off. Minutes of sleep and I could dream again. Wake up, tick tock, the alarm clock is waking you up out of your dreams again. Get up, make it stop, shut it off. 10 more minutes of sleep and I could dream again. Run with me through NYC. Come alive, chasing your dream. Brooklyn, baby, can't no sleep. Run away to NYC. Brooklyn, baby. Tell me everything you heard. Torch girl, waving to the barriers. Nice place, you thought it would be scarier. Run with me through NYC. Come alive, chasing your dream. Brooklyn, baby, can't no sleep. Run away to NYC. Brooklyn, baby. Brooklyn, baby, can't no sleep. Run away to NYC. Brooklyn, baby, can't no sleep. Run away to NYC. Brooklyn, baby. Brooklyn, Brooklyn, baby, can't no sleep. Run away to NYC. Brooklyn, baby. Brooklyn, baby. Wake Brooklyn, baby, can't no sleep. Run away to NYC. Brooklyn, baby. NY, damn, you got an attitude. My, yeah, I really vibe with you. Sunshine got me in a summer mood. Sky high, girl, it's only me and you. Run with me through NYC. Come alive, chasing your dream. Brooklyn, baby, can't no sleep. Run away to NYC. Brooklyn, baby. Brooklyn, baby. Back streets, wandering through Williamsburg. So sweet, tell me everything you heard. Torch girl, waving to the barriers. Nice place, you thought it would be scarier. Run with me through NYC. Come alive, chasing your dream. Brooklyn, baby, can't no sleep. Run away to NYC. Brooklyn, baby. Brooklyn, baby. Wake up, tick tock, the alarm clock is waking you up.
Okay, back to mixing night. So if you have not discovered it yet, Brooklyn Baby Sprint Mixes level 1 through 6, beginner through Jedi, are downloadable in the description of the video you are watching right now. Go and get them. Try the sprints yourself. They are a ton of fun. After we did the show for a couple years, Lori, my wife, was like, I think I have a much better understanding of what you do now than I ever did before. And I let her do sprint mixes, and she went from level 1 to level 4 in one day and almost conquered level 4 and just had a ball. And it's kind of like playing a video game for people who love music. So go try the sprint mixes. It's a ton of fun, and I guarantee you, if you treat it like athletics for your ears, it is going to be the fastest level up in your mixing skills that you could imagine. But you got to put the work in, or the work won't come back. Let me see. So go get the sprint mix. It's in the description. Also, if you missed the intro, we are giving away an Apollo Twin X tonight, and we are giving away 5 MixWave plugins throughout the night. Both contests are in the description of the video you are watching right now. If you're catching the restream, snooze, lose, sorry. Everybody live gets it. So we're giving away the entry closes for the Twin at 9:30, which is like an hour and 15 minutes from now. So get it. Let's see. I wanted to. So one of the things I'm going to show you guys, mixing wise myself tonight, on Pro Mixer Night. Did you guys see the list of people we got tapping in tonight? It is Bananasville. Speaking of people we got tapping in tonight. Who do we got? The Real Shakar. Hey, where's Ryan? Ryan West is on. We got the heavies already. The Fingers, New York Cat Track Cats. Jeannie. Hey, Jeannie. Tell Bob we said hello, Jeannie. He's the best. My fellow fader of the Lost Art. Wallex. I'm having trouble reading. Ben Ellery. Danny Damon. What's up? Who else is on here tonight? Matt Thrasher. Man, it's great to see everybody. Tap in if you're watching and you're not on the chat roll. Introduce yourself. Our community is the most welcoming on earth. They really are just an amazing bunch of highest level creatives. Okay, so I wanted to show you, shout out to our show's videographer, Kyle Wolf. Kyle edits most of the video content that we show on the in-betweens, and he edits the intro and all that stuff. And he came to the choir sessions in New York City for PopCon Beat the Struggle, which just came out, by the way. PopCon Beat the Struggle came out like a week or two ago, and the small choir that I was talking to everybody on Mixing Night about, I think 2 or 3 shows ago, that was that choir. We did it at Flux Studios. It sounds incredible. So if you want to hear what 8 people can do if you layer them up right and capture them right, go listen to PopCon Beat the Struggle and tell me it doesn't sound like 80. Mazzy's getting a little brr. Let's see. Okay, so Kyle sent me this beat the other day, and the song he sent me a song and blew me away. I love the song. So I wanted to do a mix for him, just to give him a thank you back for all of the hard work that he's done for the show. And then while I was mixing it, I realized I was doing a whole bunch of really dope shit that you guys might want to really tap in to and learn from. So I'm going to teach you. The first thing that I want to do is compare my final to his rough. My apologies, Kyle. This is not the right version. Hang on. Dun, dun, dun. There's a Mixing Night version of this. The first thing I do before I start a mix is I listen to the rough mix through 5-6 times, and just so I can get a real sense of what the song is telling me to do, and then I can just react and get kind of a compass direction going in my head of okay, this is where I think I'm going to take this. Hey, you, lay down, settle. You'll be a good girl. It's like where I think I'm going to take a compass direction. It's not like an instruction manual. It's, a pointer. And then I just go mix. And occasionally throughout the mix, I will reference back and forth between the rough and listen to certain things and the way that the producer or artist treated them to make sure that I'm either as good as or liking better what I'm doing, and that it's always capturing the spirit of the song that I'm trying to go for. And this little bitch, oh, you just want to, oh, you just think it's just treat time or something? You know, I brought out the good treats. That's the problem. I was giving her kibble earlier, and she was like, you know, that's fine. I don't need like kibble every 5 seconds. And then I give her the good treats, and she's like, oh, that's what you're waiting on. I hate you now, Dad. Give me. So, you know, what can you do? Okay, that's my mix. First thing I noticed about Kyle's mix was that the intro was very underwhelming and quiet. And nowadays with listeners, you only have a few seconds to really catch their ears. So right from jump, you better be sonically and production-wise in the place that you want to be. So let me show you, I'll play you my mix, and then whenever you see, where is it? Here. Whenever you see the rough go to solo like that, then you're hearing Kyle's rough. You'll usually hear a pretty drastic switch. So let's give the intro a shot, and then you can hear what I'm talking about. So already I have much more impact for the listener. I'm probably 5, 6, 7 dB louder. I'm squeezing a little bit more. It's got a little bit more overall presence, and my dog is testing my last nerve. Let's go to the next section where I felt like the next section, his kick drum comes in like thunder. Listen to his rough. So if you can hear me switching back, the real quiet one with the hella loud kick is Kyle's mix. Now, whenever you turn your drums way up, especially your kick drum, and especially your 808, you are going to sacrifice the volume of everything else in your mix. There needs to be sonic room for those things to be that loud. So everything else needs to get turned down a bit. So what I did was I turned down the level of where his kick was just a little bit so that I could push everything else up and have a few dB to accommodate them. So if you listen perspective-wise to where his rough sits, especially with the kick in relation to the rest of the instruments, and then if you listen to my final, and again, when this is S, yellow, and solo, that's his rough. Listen to the difference in loudness and presence and perspective and just overall bigness. Out of town with no one in sight. I got edges sharp as million knives. You got close and said it's alright. Yeah, we fell, it's too late now. Now it's all a blur. Forgetting places and the things we were. For hours sitting on your curb. Yeah, we fell, it's too late now. Cause I know I'll never go back. You're the best thing that I ever had. Feels like the future came. Now this section, first time I heard it, I thought, okay, these vocals are really thin and really bright. And the song is called Fading into Black. And just perceptually, the way I want the listener subliminally to perceive this song is not super bright vocals. It's a big, warm, deep, powerful mix. That's kind of my vision of where I'm taking it and changing it up. Now listen to the difference in how I treated these vocals.
I know I'll never go back. You're the best thing that I ever had. Feels like the future came. I'm done with the past, and I'll be here till we're fading into black, fading into black.
So the first thing that you guys need to realize is you have to have the vision to know that you can get there. You need to have the vision, and that's usually just through experience of doing it a gazillion times, is you need to have the vision to know what you have and where you want to take it. As soon as I heard this riff, I was like, okay, I'm going to make this a big, fat, powerful anthem and make those drums really, the kick isn't as loud, but everything is bigger and works more together as a unit. And then especially with these vocals, I just warmed them up and gave them a bit of space. I think the outro is where you can hear the most change in the hooks. Okay, so that's the perspective that I want you guys to have as far as, hey, Mazzy, come on, baby girl. Give her an inch. I think I'm about to go to the Jeff Braun segment. But I think, J.J. Blair reinforces this later as well. It's when a lot of times when we hear mixes or rough mixes, it's not that, the sound of that kick drum wasn't right, or the vocal is a little bit too low in the mix. It's that everything is a little bit out of balance and the picture of it isn't quite right. And so, over the years, I've gotten very accustomed to listening to a rough that isn't quite right and going, oh, okay, I know what to do with it. And that vision is what you need to start with as a mixer, so that your decisions are guided by it as you go step by step. So we're gonna spill to Jeff. Fucking Mazzy. We're gonna spill to Jeff Braun in a moment. But me and Jonathan met Jeff Braun at Sweetwater Sound at the Mike Miller Atmos Masterclass. Mike Miller has since passed on. Rest in peace, man. But out of it, there were some amazing industry connections. Thank you, Mike Miller. And we met Jeff Braun, who turns out he's like an absolute savage mix engineer. Jeez, go look at his credits. It is ridiculous. And just the nicest guy. And he's Nashville based. So I'm going to let him take it away and drop some science on you guys. Thank you, Jeff.
I'm Jeff. I'm a mixer here in Nashville. Ken is a buddy. He's a legend. He hit me up to see if I had anything cool to share for mixing night. Got some new workflow things I've been doing that I've been loving. If I go over anything too fast, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I love talking about this stuff. I love learning. Tip 1, my mix bus is a master fader into an aux. I do this because I want to have pre-insert level control, which is what your master fader is. And I want to have post-insert level control, which is what your aux is. So think of this as your overall gain stage. This is kind of like glue or density. If I want to push certain sections to feel more glued or to be more compressed, like say I have a sparse intro before the vocal comes in and I need more RMS from that section, I might just boost this a dB or 2 overall and achieve that super easily. This is like my final post-limiting output stage. So say you're done with the mix, you're sitting at -8, -7 LUFS integrated, and you want to reintroduce some dynamic scene changes from verse to chorus. Here is where I would do like a half dB drop in the verse, punch it back up in the chorus, half dB drop in the verse, etc. Having both options is really cool. Tip 2, this may seem dumb, but man, this has been saving me so much time. having a print track and utilizing input monitoring. So say we have our first mix, we printed it, we sent this to the client, we have our notes back, and the notes are vocal up, solo up, bridge, piano down, whatever. I can reference the first print, the mix one print, and then the current live print just by clicking that button. And I can make sure that I'm actually effectively executing those notes. Because a lot of times I would make these half dB or 1 dB moves, and then I would send the new mix out, and then the same notes would come back. And I'm like, gosh, can't you guys hear that half dB, 1 dB? No, a lot of people can't hear that. And a lot of these notes are coming from managers, A&Rs, whoever, and you need more like a dB and a half or 2 dB on some of these things to actually feel it. And this is a really good like blind gut check of like closing your eyes, going back and forth and being like, yes, okay, I executed that note effectively and I'm pushing things towards the finish line. When I do half dB moves and I do this blind, I can't pick out the difference sometimes. Last tip, if you look at this Kirchhoff EQ, the noise floor of our session is -80. That might not seem like a big deal, but if you do 50 or 60 stems, that will add up. And then if they use your stems for the live show, you will hear noise through the PA. And you do not want that call from the musical director when they're sitting in rehearsals and they're cussing you out because your shit's noisy. Yeah, you don't want to be there. So I have the standard gate on all my subs. I love this gate because the threshold goes super low, way down to -96, but I just cut out the noise. Look at our Kirchhoff. We are -infinity. We are good to print stems. There are just certain plugins that you cannot turn off the noise floor. Some Valhalla stuff, there's a couple of verbs. It's just baked in there. And you don't have the option of turning it off, so you have to gate it. I only do this on the stems. You have to be careful because some producers want that noise in the mix. Some producers will even send you a noise track that you're supposed to feather in super down low because they think it blends reverb tails together. And it does. There are some cool things to it, but for stems, I don't need that in there. There you go.
Hello, thank you, Jeff Braun. Man, that's a first-class dude. So, I woke up this morning, and I looked at my Muso.AI account, which is like a credits tracking account, and it's actually really, really good, surprisingly. And I woke up this morning to, I hit 44 billion streams on Muso.AI. Holy crap. These things just keep coming. I woke up to the Muso like end of the year wrap up thing. So I put together a little video of the end of my year wrap up on Muso, and you guys can roll it.
I'm a god, so send in the best that you got. But me, I'll be gone by the time you arrive. Be careful when choosing the side. I'm a ghost in the dark when I pick you apart. They still trying to catch me, it ain't in the cards. No one can stop me, I'm taking up arms and I'm coming for whoever say they in charge. 10 out of 10, run it back, we can do it again. What's the bet? Where and when? I'm the best of the best and I better be 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, run it back, we can do it again. What's the bet? Where and when? And I'll always be 10 out of 10. Here we go again. Coming up fast, in love with the cash. I do whatever it takes for a bag. We coming back and it's over, ain't no back and forth. And the fact that I'm packing means action for y'all, I'm a problem. Whoever won it, get it on sight. It's like fighting a toddler. Now you a target, I'm being honest. Stay on your side and they getting demolished. 10 out of 10. Run it back, we can do it again. What's the bet? Where and when? I'm the best of the best and I better be 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Run it back, we can do it again. What's the bet? Where and when?
All right, we are back, baby. Yeah, that shit is absolutely mind-blowing to me. I've said it on the show many times before. I don't know how that shit happened. I just wake up every day and get to work and try and do my best work and try and tap in with the best creatives I possibly can as often as I can. And great things happen. So let's see. What do I got? Ooh. So next up on the show, I'm going to go to JJ Blair, who I talked about loving. This man, do not leave your seat right now. JJ Blair is, he knows his shit inside and out. And it's always amazing when another mix engineer of that caliber reinforces all of the things that you've been saying and believing and working at like for years and years and years. And I will let JJ Blair take it away. Thank you, JJ.
Here's the best mixing tip I can give anybody based on what I hear from many people when I listen to their mixes and I hear what's wrong. It's not learn how to use a compressor. It's not, what's the best EQ for a kick drum or snare or anything. It's learn balance. And I hear what's wrong. It's not learn how to use a compressor. It's not, what's the best EQ for a kick drum or snare or anything. It's learn balance. Study other records and understand what the balance should be. Because when I hear stuff, my biggest complaint is not so much your snare sound sucks, you need to compress the vocal more or less. It's just everything's out of whack. The reverb's too loud, the drums are too little, the drums are too big. The bass is not in the right place, a number of things. And the way you learn that is by listening to other people's mixes. And even if it's not your style of music, listen to hit records, listen to big records, because they will inform what a proper functioning balance is. Don't go listening to like the weird esoteric shit and decide that's what you're going to model yourself on, because you got to learn how to walk before you can run. As I like to say, Picasso knew how to paint a really excellent, realistic portrait before he did cubism. You got to learn the fundamentals before you decide to become avant-garde, as far as I'm concerned. If you want to do this for a living anyway. Weird is only going to get you so far, and only a couple people can succeed at it. Good music has a proper balance, and my friend Ed Cherney used to say when I asked him what he thought of a friend of ours who we both didn't think was great, he would just go, man, that guy couldn't balance a fucking tire. And that's what it is. It's about balance. In fact, in the olden days, if you look at the old Abbey Road engineers, one guy was called, you had the tape op and you had the balance engineer. That's what mixing is. That's you're finding a balance. And there's a lot of different ways to create that balance, and there's a lot of different techniques in how to get everything to sit in the right place. But you have to learn what that balance is and should be before anything else. That's first and foremost. That is the horse before that cart. Learn that by studying other mixes. And I will still to this day, just to check where something is, if I'm questioning where something is, I will pull up another mix that I like in that genre, and I will A/B it and go, I got a little too much 200 hertz in the bass, and pull that out, or the bass is sitting too high, or the bass is sitting too low, or something like that. So definitely use other people's successful mixes as guides. And like I said, I will listen to genres and artists that are not what I enjoy, but I know this is a really good example. I know, like, Spike did this mix, or Bob Clearmountain did this mix, or the Butcher Brothers did this mix, or something like that. And these are Serban or any of these guys. If you want to be successful and work in this career, listen to what the guys who are getting the jobs are doing and winning the awards. And you don't have to copy them, but they should help inform your decisions as to what is working and what isn't working. Anyway, that's my helpful tip for the day.
Thank you, JJ Blair. Woo! Man. JJ, like I mentioned earlier, he owns a studio up in the Hollywood Hills called Fox Force 5, and he does a lot of blues. I think he just did the Joe Bonamassa record, so he's that guy. and I love working out of Fox Force 5. Some of my favorite songs I've ever written and sessions I've done have been out of that place. So thank you, JJ. Let's see. I am going to get back to showing you cool shit on Kyle's mix. I wanted to show you guys a cool layup. The chorus after the bridge, there's an octave lower vocal. Just listen. Here's my foot switch. There it is. Come on, get back here. So hang on. There's an octave low. Let me just play it for you.
Fading into black.
Now, if you're a listener, you may not even pay attention and know that that's there, but it adds this like cool vibe in the background, and maybe on the 12th listen as a fan, you're going like, oh, I didn't even hear that deep thing. So let me show you how I did it. Super, super easy. I just took the lead vocal. Here. No. There we go. Needed to put the fading intos back. So here's just a copy of the lead vocal, and then I'm gonna open Serato Pitch and Time Pro. There's a bunch of ways to do this. I think Pitch and Time Pro is probably always my go-to. Set it to the voice algorithm, and definitely makes a big difference between harmonic and transient and voice when you're messing with voice. Analyze. I want to go down 12 semitones, which is 1 octave. Render, and this is what we have. Which is exactly what this is. And then what I did was I wanted to get it off of the lead vocal. One of the big problems, please pay attention, one of the big problems with when you formant down a vocal against a lead vocal, or you pitch up or down a vocal against a lead vocal, but it is the same vocal. Usually the timing stays exact and you get massive phase problems that really rub that vocal the wrong way. So what I do is I put it just behind the lead vocal, and I put it off to the sides, and I tuck it and darken it a little bit. Let me show you how to do that. So this is the one that we just did, but it's easier to show you the result. We start with SSL. I'm just pulling a little bit of the mids out to give the lead vocal more room, brightening up the tippy top so that the air comes out of it, and giving it a little bit of mid-range presence and thinning it out a little bit, because as it dropped, it got much bigger on the bottom end. And then a little bit of all comp for control. And also, see, I levitated, which is a tilt. I levitated right to thin it out even a little bit more. This basic control. This is my vocal chain, super easy to use. The only thing I'm using on the bottom is a little tilt thinner, and I'm filtering out the deep. And then greenhouse is the clincher. Here's without greenhouse. And this is almost stock the way it comes. I think stock is somewhere like around here, but I switch it to Tulip, and I'm cutting some of the high off because I just want it to sit underneath the vocal. I don't want to really draw attention to it. I just want it to be this cool element underneath. So the greenhouse is a spreader saturator vibe box. So this is spreading it out, giving it a little bit of chorusing modulation and giving it a little bit of saturation, and filtering out some of the high frequency to get it out of the way of the lead vocal. And then when you put everything together,
Fading into black. Fading into black. Fading into black.
all right, if you got questions about that, fire away. What other cool shit did I want to show you? Oh, this thing is exceptional. I'm just going to show you like one-off tricks and skills tonight and see if I can give you some quick stuff to level you up. This, is it, what track? 38E guitar.
Trip for miles, now it's all a Fading into black.
So I've got some other schmutz on this. UBK1 is pretty darn cool. This grabs really hard. I like. That kind of lets the transient through, then really grabs hold. Little de-esser to soften some of the pick attacks. Greenhouse to spread it. And finally, this Mixwave Hazelrig VLC. This shit is bananas. Yeah, I mean, listen to this. Well done. Very cool. I met the Hazelrigs actually the same time I met Jeff Braun at Sweetwater at the Mike Miller Atmos Masterclass. The Hazelrigs and Mike Miller were working on a project together, capturing an Atmos. Actually capturing in some crazy format that the Hazelrigs invented. Those guys are like wizards. But anyway, well done on the plug-in Mixwave and the Hazelrigs. Love that thing. And you see, so before I decided to use this song as something for the show, I just did a straight up mix of it. And then after I did a straight up mix of it, I was like, man, I'm doing a lot of cool shit. I should really show some of this stuff. And so just so you can understand, well, two things about mixing. One, see, okay, most of these SSL channels are just placeholders in case I need an EQ or a compressor, because that comes up on my controller right here perfectly. So it's like being on an SSL console. Whenever I need an SSL EQ or compressor, it is arm's reach and muscle memory takes over and it feels like working on a console. So I preload my session with one of those across the entire session. And then I can see all of my faders come up on the fader banks, and any plugin that's active comes up and I can control it here. So most of these SSLs aren't being used at all. So I'm basically not probably using any plugins on the first 6 channels, and then I got a little bit of stuff going on the next, and then I got nothing going on here, and a little bit of all comp going on the big toms. I kind of wanted to turn the big toms into more like taiko drums. So I used all comp to really smash them and brighten them up and give them some depth and reverb. Again, a whole stretch of instrumentation with no plugins, and then all comp greenhouse. It's the never-ending all comp escapade. Greenhouse, all comp, greenhouse, greenhouse, all comp. This is very normal. All comp. And all comp is 50% off right now until, I think, 3 hours left. The sale ends at midnight. Snooze, lose. 50% off Black Friday goes through midnight tonight. And you get my 2024 Ken Lewis Signature Presets Pack with all comp if you buy it by midnight. It comes with it free. I think we're going to start selling it after tonight. And it's basically my preset pack. I created it by opening up all my favorite sessions from throughout the year and harvesting my favorite all comp settings on all of those and then naming them the specific instrument or vocal or whatever effect I used it on that. So it's really a descriptive thing, and every single one of those presets came directly from one of my sessions. Check it out. All comp is 50% off until midnight, which is 3 hours. Go get it. Come on. If you don't have it, like, seriously, just try the trial for one day. And then after you're like, okay, I totally need this. You're right. Then you can thank me later. All comp. What else am I going to show you on this before I spill to, who am I going to next? Bob Horn? Yeah. Yeah, Bob Horn. Bobby Horn? Bobby? The lead vocal. I did a bunch on this. Let me show you what I did. Oh, okay. One really cool thing I did on the lead vocal was this. I clip gained the, here, I'll just play it for you.
Fading into black, fading into black, fading into.
So this is -1, 0, plus 3.2, plus 3.2. So before I hit it with any compression, which it is getting compressed, I evened it out on clip gain even more because it was sounding a little bit janky even with all the schmutz on it. So I'll just A-B it for you so you can hear. Again, this is with all of the cuts.
Fading into.
And this without.
Fading into.
Hear how the first word jumps out, fading into, and then it almost drops out by the end.
Fading into black, fading into black.
And this is how I clip gain.
Fading into black, fading into black.
It's a dun 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 dun. It's a much better launch pad into the chorus. Let's see. I don't very often clip gain my vocals, but when I feel like something's falling off and like I'm not a ride it with the fader kind of a guy, I would definitely rather ride it with clip gain than fader any day of the week. But most of the time I just let the compression do all the work for me. Let's see. I'm going to Bob Horn in a few minutes, but not quite yet. Dun, dun, dun. I wanted to show you this transition mute, which was really cool. When I'm mixing, I'm always looking for special moments to create so that the listener is kind of snapped out of their trance. Like, you know, if you're just getting a little bit too comfortable listening to the pre-chorus, all of a sudden I'm going to give you a transition that's like, oh shit, something's coming. So listen to what I did here. You can see all of these mutes on the session. Dun, dun, dun. Hang on, let me stretch these out a little bit. Come on. So yeah, you can see the mutes here. Now listen to what I did.
It's alright, yeah, we fell, it's too late now. Trip for miles, now it's all a blur. Trip for miles.
So I muted every instrument for those last two beats, and then I took this guitar swell that is on this track. This is what it sounds like normally. So that's just a copy paste to here and to here. So I took that and I copied it down to here, and then I don't even know what schmutz I put on this thing. Let's find out. Oh, that's interesting. I have no idea who makes this, but it was a dope little flanger find. lot of greenhouse on this. Now, if I just muted this and I put it back to this, this is what we get. So this is the untreated, but the exact same sound. It's like, you know, you get it. Like if the listener's just getting a little bit too lulled, all of a sudden they're like, oh, what was the? Oh, I'm back in it. And then you just got to keep them entertained for 4 more bars until the next section. So. 'Cause I know I'll never go back. You get it. Anyway, we are going to go to my friend and fellow Cincinnatian, now in LA, and fellow fader of the Lost Art. Me, Dave Pensado, Bob Horn, Farid Salama, and Nico Hamui are the faders of the Lost Art. Follow us on YouTube, and if you haven't followed us on Mixing on YouTube, follow Mixing Night, like and subscribe, drop us a comment, all that great shit. Whatever. Let's go to Bob Horn. Thank you, Bob.
Hello, Mixing Night Audio, Bob Horn here, and tonight I wanted to talk about getting things right at the source. And when we're mix engineers, we can't necessarily retrack something to get a better guitar sound or bass sound or something. So find plugins and processing that tonally can shift the character of a sound before we get into, cutting of EQ and 20 bands of multi-band and soothe and all this other stuff. Just getting things right as close to the source as we can, whether it's a preamp emulation or a guitar amp emulation. And I'm going to feature a company tonight, MixWave. If you're not up on MixWave plugins, you're missing out, and you got to check them out.
So the first thing I have for you is a clean guitar, real simple. It's very plain Jane, lackluster, like DI into Pro Tools, nothing really special. So what we're going to do is throw on this MixWave 2-Rock Bloomfield Drive amp sim and see how that improves it. So it's automatically way clearer, more pristine, just sounds more expensive, sounds better. They have so many choices. Here's a choice in 2 different tube stages. You can go to the cabinet. You have 4 microphone choices. So you go to the first microphone, you have a 57. You can choose the axis. Look at the microphones move. You can choose the angle. And it's really just like engineering a real guitar, like when we move the mics and you move them like 2 inches and the sound totally changes. So these amps are really flexible. Okay, so next up we have a distorted guitar that's using another amp sim. And frankly, it's just a bit mosquito tone, kind of thin. It's just not appealing. I'll play it for you. Not a sound I would get excited for. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop on the MixWave Mic Stringer Spirit Box. Check this out. Okay, and the last thing I have for you guys is a vocal, and I'm going to show how magical this level compressor is. And it's the Hazel Rig VLC. I actually have a real one over here in the rack. And man, when I tell you they nailed the modeling of this unit, it's scary. But I just want to show you how these 2 plugins can take this raw vocal almost to the finish line, before I even get into dynamic EQs, multiband, all that stuff, de-essing. Just watch how finished it makes this vocal. Here's the raw vocal. Did you notice the tonal change? So listen to like the frequency response, the natural EQ of this vocal, listen to that change. It's like it got its own new EQ just by compressing.
左边还是你可爱的脸，留下的我不敢说。
So now we're going to put my vocal cleanup preset I have here on the Hazel rig.
左边还是你可爱的脸，留下的我不敢说，让余温来陪我继续走。
So I'm sure you can hear with just those two plugins, we have almost gotten a finished vocal sound. Of course, it still needs reverb and effects. Maybe it needs a little de-essing. Finding plugins that can tonally shape the sound before you really get into deep mixing goes a really long way, because then you can give yourself a multi-track session that just sounds way better, and then start mixing, and you'll be better off for it. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
What's good, Mixing Night family? This is Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, back with another Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment. In this Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment, I'm going to share a couple of freebies for you, and also some things that you can do with AI and sound design. So let's get right to it. Here is Obliterate, a free distortion filter from Newfangled Audio. These links will be included in the Discord group as well. We also have some free Massive Cinematic Africa percussion sounds from Ben Alon, the one-man tribe who creates percussive libraries for us to use. I will include a link to this in the Discord group. We also have the Vault series. They just released the Wavering Choir from the Crow Hill Company. The Vault series is a series of free instruments that they release almost every month, every 2 months. So definitely check that out. We have talked about them before. The link will be in the Discord group. We have also the Blueprint series from Fracture Sounds. They just released a string trio solo strings in their free Blueprint series, and you can see all the other products they have in that lineup here, all for free. Did someone say free? I said free. Next, we have a free Gothic pad from Bella D Media. I haven't heard of Bella D Media, but this Gothic pad sounds great. It is used in Contact, so definitely check out the settings to make sure you have what you need to get it going. But check out the free Gothic pad from Bella D Media. And we also have a free reverb from Wave Alchemy. This is the Magic 7 True Stereo Reverb Processor. Had to get all that out. I'll include a link also for this in the Discord, a free reverb that you can check out and use in your productions. Now, let's get to a little bit of AI. First, the Vital Synth. I've shared this before in the past. This is a free synth that you can use. You can download. You can also go to Google. You can search for free presets. I'll include a link for this one, but you can look for a bunch of presets online for the Vital Synth. What I found recently in the Trailer Composer group on Facebook is that someone used AI to design sounds in Serum. And I don't have Serum, so I was like, I have Vital Synth, I have Alchemy, I have some other synths. So I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, I want to create a custom Braun sound. Braun sound is like a distorted synth sound for trailer music, and I want to use the Vital Synth. Tell me the settings to adjust. And what it did is it gave me step by step what settings to go to and adjust. I had to figure out where some of these options were or figure out my way around it using these, but it gave me, in this case, 5-6 steps to create the sound. And this is the sound that I created using AI. And it took me about 15-20 minutes to create that sound. I can include a link to a YouTube video where I created that sound. Then I asked it to help me create a riser sound, similar thing. I think in this case it was 7 steps. So you can use ChatGPT, say, hey, help me to create the sound in Vital, help me to create the sound in Massive, in Serum, in Omnisphere, in Alchemy, whatever synth you have, and it'll give you those settings that you can adjust within that synth. So that's a unique way you can use AI. So last but not least, as the holiday season is upon us, for those who haven't picked up All Comp or Law Comp, please pick up All Comp and Law Comp. What I'm going to do once I figure out how to do this is I'm going to release, I have about 35-ish presets here, and I'm going to figure out how to get these presets to you for free at no charge that I have used in my productions. And as I create things, I go in here, I tweak them, and I save them as a preset. So I have 35 right now that I would like to share with the world. So at some point, I'm going to figure out how to get this to you, maybe put the link in the Discord group. So stay tuned for that. Happy holiday season, everyone. This is Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery, with another Mixing Night Man of Mystery moment. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right? All right. Peace.
Welcome back. That was an extended break, but we've been behind the scenes working to get Preston, Prizzie, Reid live with us. Guys, can you tell me on the walkie whether or not he is live with us yet? Hey, Preston. Say hello to our Mixing Night community. Welcome, Preston, Prizzie, Reid.
What's going on, everybody?
Oof. I can see the chat roll, so I'm hoping people fire away with questions for you. I know you've had quite the amazing year. You mixed Usher recently. You've been mixing Mooney Long for quite a while. What are some of your other notables? I know you work with the Dream a lot. That was one of the most impressive for me.
Yeah, I've been really digging Omale out in Nigeria. That's the whole Afrobeats wave, and I've been on that for a little bit now, and it's it's interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not doing much of that at all. One of our other heavies joining us tonight, DJ Swivel, does a lot of Afro. He does the Rema stuff.
Oh yeah. Fire.
Yeah, so you guys are tapping in with all that shit. I need to find some of that action.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's really dope. You recently built your own studio. That's where you're sitting right now?
Yep.
You're Atlanta based?
Yep. In Atlanta.
So if y'all need a Atlanta mix engineer, tap in with Prizzie.
Pull up.
Dude is amazing.
Hit me.
I wanted to, well, first off, can you give me a little bit of your backstory? Because I really love the way you came up, working for the Dream and then going freelance.
Yeah. So the story goes all the way back to Chicago, and Ken, you know this because I was one of the OG audio school online students. So shout out to Ken. Yeah,
That's
man,
mind-blowing to me, by the way. Absolutely mind-blowing. Just mind-blowing to me.
Oh yeah. So yeah, from Chicago, I moved out to Atlanta in 2015-ish. Got an internship with TK over at Silent Sound Studios, the critically acclaimed Silent Sound. From there, I got on with Tricky Stewart, and been with his camp for some years, was his engineer, and freelancing, of course, at that time. Around 2018, I moved away and did my own thing, and been freelancing ever since. And it's been growing and growing and growing. So here we are.
That's great. Are you mostly in, hey you. Mazzy wants to say hello.
What up? What's the word?
You'll get to meet her whenever you come visit, man.
Yeah, man, I gotta pull up.
Prizzie and I have been talking about getting him up here just for an exchange of ideas trip. Have the new killer show me all of his tricks, and have the old goat show him all of mine, and level each other up. I'm really looking forward to having that happen with you,
Yeah,
man. That's gonna
likewise,
be a lot
man.
of fun.
Likewise.
So for those that don't know, I used to have an online school called Audio School Online. I used to do long form tutorials back when people had an attention span, and Prizzie credits me with teaching him a lot on his come up, and wow, you have made quite the ascent. So very high honor for me to be any influence in that at all. And, things like when I hear stuff like this, it's one of the real drivers for me doing a show like Mixing Night, because I know I'm going to have these same conversations with somebody a decade from now who's like, dude, when you had that show Mixing Night, that was my start. And I'm just like, so, yeah. Let's get to some viewer questions. Let's see. Hey, you. God, jeez. I'm going to have to let her out. Let's see. David Ashman asks, if you send your mix out through an external mixer and effects, should you record it back in at 6 dB down and then master with plugins? He's basically asking, should you master with plugins and leave yourself some headroom? That sounds like a hard yes to me.
Yeah, I don't know a word where that would be no.
Yeah, to me, I don't think about the amount of headroom that I leave. I just think about making sure that I have enough headroom so that when I need to start squeezing things, that I'm not out of space already, and that I can manipulate things that way. How do you approach your mix bus?
Yeah, no, same thing. So I don't go to summing anymore, but when I did, it was the same approach. I'll I'll go in at a very, safe level, like back into Pro Tools, and then I'll build from there. I'm usually a two limiter guy. One doing the heavy lifting, the other one is kind of like sound shaping, final, that type of thing. And then the
What's your sound shaper?
so I used to use uh Ozone Maximizer in transient mode. Um, and I still love that to a degree. Way back in the day, it was the FGX. And that's where I got the original idea from because they kind of give this extra like thump to your drums. And I just got so used to that any limiter that gave me that extra, 2-3% on the end of transient information, that's what I gravitated towards. And I say it's a sound shaper because I would actually leave it on when it goes to mastering.
And that you're a lot of people don't know or don't remember the FGX and FGX2 have transient shapers on it.
Exactly.
You can and it's like I think high low, so you can adjust like the snare and the hats separately from the kicks, which can be really handy. And yeah, like my tone shaper for me is the Manly Varimu. Super slow attack, super slow release, and I just mash into it. And I believe Ivana Manley told me, because I didn't really know why it worked so well, because to me it's like the glue. She was like, I think you're saturating the transformer on the way in. I'm like, okay. So, that's my little trick. Yeah. Let's see. Here's Abil is asking us, hey Prizzie, how do you approach your mix bus? Which is kind of the same question, but can you break down like your thought process of when you approach, when to treat your mix bus and what you're doing in series?
Yeah, so I would say recently, this past year, I've kind of been treating the mix bus similar to how you would get a session to mix and they have a vocal bus and say they had 3, 4, 5 things on there. Well, now you get mix buses with 3, 4, 5 things on there, and you got to pick and choose like what is serving the song, what is a production choice, what is a engineering choice that I feel like I can do better. So I kind of go off that vibe first. If they're heavy handed, I'll try to get rid of a few things, and because a lot of times it's just loudness. Um, so yeah, I don't really have something specifically that I'm using these days, aside from the same limiters and stuff like that. But it'll always be some form of multiband, either ozone, cloud particle if they already had it on there. Every now and then it'll be like the ML 4000, the ML. But it's
Do you
all
EQ your mix
thing.
bus, and if so, with what?
What's that?
Do you EQ your hey you, hush it. Do you EQ your mix bus, and if so, with what?
I subtractive EQ, so I'll use the BrainWorks, and I'll notch some things out. And every now and then I might add fresh air if I feel like I get to the final stages of the mix and I just need that extra sparkle on top. I'll throw that on there too.
Nice. That's Slate Fresh Air for people that don't know. And
Excellent.
like my experience with Slate Fresh Air is a little goes a long way.
Exactly.
Like 10, 15 max on the high
Exactly.
is just
I'm at like 5%, 8%.
yeah, it just
like that.
sparkles it up really nicely sometimes when you don't have those like the activation of the tippy top transients. That's a nice way to do it. Let's see. Kyle Wolf has a question. Kyle Wolf, hey you. Now you just need to calm the fuck down. Kyle Wolf asks, hey Prizzie, was there a moment you could remember where you figured out what level things should sit at in relation to one another? Like, how did you learn balances?
Ear training and just listening to a crap load of stuff. And I think there's an art to reverse engineering. And you go on Tidal or Apple Music or whatever. I actually still go on iTunes and buy songs from time to time, and I'll just analyze it. You can put it in metric A/B, listen to the highs, listen to the mids, listen to the low mids, the lows, and just over time you start to know what your speakers are supposed to sound like, and the relation between everything. And then also, it's an unfair advantage when you have stuff that's out because you can compare exactly what you did last time to what you're doing this time. You can say, wow, that 808 from that song I did a year ago, I want to redo that. You just open the session and figure out what you did and build off that.
Do you import chains from other sessions and then tweak them sometimes?
Only if I'm in an album. If we're like a 10, 15 song album and it's recorded the same way, then yeah, I'll build off of what I did on track 1 to track 2. Usually. It depends. But that's it. I don't really import session data from like older stuff or like different artists.
Right. I think one of the mantras that keeps coming back time and time again talking to people like us is that you serve the song.
Yeah.
And you listen to the song and you react to the song, and it is not about the gear. Just like you just said, and JJ Blair said earlier on his segment, that listening to what other people have done is crucially important, and absorbing and understanding how it sounds that way and why it sounds that way and what those general balances are that you love that you can now analyze. Like, I think one of the big takeaways when I do vocal production, first thing I usually do with a vocalist is sit them down and put them through my little vocal boot camp, which is one of the elements of that is showing them just how much most other vocalists over-enunciate every single word. And most vocalists are very lazy that way. And that really shows them like, oh, I never noticed that. Oh my God. And when you start paying attention to that, now you hear everybody on the radio is like super over enunciation person, and except for Ariana Grande. I don't know how the hell that girl got away from me.
Yeah.
So have you seen Wicked, by the way?
Oddly enough, I've seen it twice. My wife loves that movie.
I was blown away.
It is crazy.
If you guys haven't seen Wicked yet, hey you. If you guys haven't seen Wicked yet, go see it. Ariana Grande is absolutely spectacular in it.
Yeah.
And Cynthia is as well, but I got to work. I produced and wrote Ariana's first EP with her. So I've spent a lot of time with that girl. She is a savant vocalist, and always has been, and just an absolute sweetheart. It is so awesome to see her on the silver screen. All right, who else do we got questions from? Hey, you, hush it up. Where do you place your formant shift vocals? Do you spread them out, or do you keep them in the center typically, or is there a
formant shift vocal? What do you mean?
Like if you take a lead vocal and you formant it down like 7 or 8 and make it super deep underneath the lead vocal, or put it like an octave down vocal underneath the lead, but it's the same vocal having just been pitched or formanted.
Yeah, like a chop thing.
Yeah. So how do you treat those if they're if they're layered underneath the lead vocal? What do you do with them? Hey, you.
I think it depends on the production, but if there's already stuff happening like kind of wide, I'll probably match that and run it through like a doubler. Just even stock settings on a doubler, and just blend it in to the point where you feel like the song overall got warmer, but it's not like super noticeable like down the middle.
Nice. That's exactly what I just showed them a while ago. Yep. Great minds. It is like, and you and I have never had that conversation, but so many times people like us stumble across the same general techniques just by, envision, like I describe it as, I listen to the rough mix and I envision, like I get a compass point direction of where I think I want to take it. And then sound by sound, I just envision like, this is what it is. What could this be? What do I want it to be? What does the song need this to be? Yeah. And then it gives you a toolkit.
Yeah.
So
I think a big part of it is also like once you get the foundation of the mix, for me, I feel I can almost like see the mix. It becomes more of a painting than a song. So now like I'm placing things within the painting that make sense. I try not to have things step on each other.
I love that description. As I just started painting for fun, we're taking painting classes down at the local City Arts and Crafts place. I highly recommend anybody try painting. It is so much fun and so relaxing.
Yeah.
But I digress. Let's get back to questions. Jamie Scott Heatley, who is going to close the show with a song for us tonight. Jamie Scott Heatley asks, hey, Prizzie, what are some of the go-to reference tracks that you use while mixing?
Anything in the top 20. And I try to refresh it every month or so. I try to go the Berry Gordy Motown route, you know?
That's a great answer, because that keeps you really fresh and current as far as changes in sound trends. Like, I haven't been keeping up with it as much lately, but typically I always listen to New Music Friday on Spotify, just like the top 20 or 30, just to get your ears tuned into, like, oh, these are the songs record labels care about this week.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's such a good lesson as both a mixer and a producer and just a creative in general, to make sure that even if you're not writing or working for that format this week, that you just keep those pop sensibilities or those market sensibilities. Let's see. I don't think that's... if you got any Prizzie direct questions, fire away on the chat roll. Who do we got on the chat? Dolph M, MBI, DeFingers, Dave hates 808s. Is that what it is? Produced by Kyle. Kyle Wolf is on the chat roll. Hey, Kyle. I hope you like the mix that I got cooking for your thing. I think it's going great. Garrett is on. We got a ton of people on with us, dude. Tarsia Renee, Will Kahn. Abandon, Jalen Goyne. Nice to have you all with us tonight. If anybody's got any Prizzie specific questions, fire away. Do you often just leave 808s alone, or do you compress them? Is there like I find myself usually doing things like this with 808s?
I try to leave them alone first. I try to get a good balance, because, I mean, most producers know what they want when it comes to drums these days, unless they're just in a really poor monitoring environment. But if the song was well produced, I'll respect the 808. If the 808 sounds like trash, then I start going for, first course of action is a pull tech every time. I love the pull tech. I might use the old school Avid Lo-Fi. That's good for just like making it jump out the speakers just a bit. That's really it. A lot of times it's subtracting what's there, but I hardly do like the R bass route or the max bass or anything like that. Usually the 808s these days, it's already there.
I find I've gotten in trouble occasionally by over compressing 808s, because the problem is, an 808 has a length and a decay to it. That feels a certain way, and that decay has a fall off that goes along with that beat. And then if you compress it too much, sometimes that decay sustains too long and it changes the entire feel of the song.
Exactly.
And and that was kind of, as I was learning, one of the mistakes, that I was like using the tools instead of using my ears and my instincts and going like, oh, listen to what I can do to this 808. Doesn't this sound great? But I wasn't backing up and going, but is it sound great for this song or just on its own?
Exactly.
So yeah, that was a big lesson for me. Wallex Restricted asks, hey Prizzie, do you still bounce drums in FL Studio sometimes?
Not with all these clippers that have been coming out. I don't need to anymore. But a couple years ago, absolutely. That was like a secret weapon.
Is it orange clip now from Schwab Digital that's
All
replacing FL?
Orange clip, gold clip, shit, any clipper. But orange clip specifically is a very similar sound.
Yeah, that one. I use gold clip on the mix bus occasionally as well. I love that thing.
It literally
the gold
sounds
clip, if you
just
guys,
like the Lavry. I have
it does. It's
and it
crazy.
sounds
No, you
identical.
So you know, of all people. Yeah, so for you guys that don't know, the Schwab Digital Gold clip is an identical copy of the famous Lavry Gold A to D with the clipper and the whole thing. And Orange Clip is a model of the FL clipper that gives those drums their famous sound. So if you need that clipper shit, go get it from Schwab. So, hey you got a question for Prizzie, Maz? Mazzy would like to know if you're going to give her any treats when you come, or if you're just going to mix all day like Dad and be a freaking...
Show up with a bag of treats.
Mazzy, lay down. God, she was so good earlier. She wasn't getting spoiled or anything. I probably have to get back to the show pretty soon. Let's see if anybody else has any more questions for you. But, dude, it's great seeing you again while I look for more questions for us. And please go listen to his discography. What's some of the latest stuff that you've got that's come out that people can listen to?
There's a lot of stuff in the pipeline. I have to come back. I have to report back
I feel
in a
that.
couple months. You'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I feel like there's so much I have in the pipeline for 2025 that I'm super, super excited about.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a while for it to get out. But man, when it
Exactly.
does, I'm going to have such a good year. Anyway, okay. But oh, this is a good question to finish on. Okay, Abil asks, hey Prizzie, would you recommend mixing your song in the same recording session? I produce my own stuff and I seem to export everything, which is time consuming. So I think he's not saying in the same day, but if you would like do a save as and mix your song in the same session as you did your production and rough mix.
Ooh, it's a simple question, but it's actually a really good question because that goes more into like the psychology of it. I think there's something special about committing to something. And if you commit to the sounds that you have, you're forced to think a little differently. But if you have infinite opportunities to tweak and go back on this synth that you chose, you may never finish the song. So what I would do personally, I would export it and start over, like with a new session, and then just use my mixer brain instead of my producer brain personally.
I love that answer. I'm probably the opposite. I find myself, so if I'm doing tempo grid stuff, I'm usually in Logic. If I'm doing live stuff, I'm usually in Pro Tools, like vocals and stuff I cut in Pro Tools. But most of my creation is in Logic, and I find myself, as I produce a lot, the production gets finished in Logic, and I'm like, you know what? This fucking rough mix slays right now. I just need to take a break, walk around the block, reevaluate this, and touch it up a little bit, and bring it home, and maybe start using some mix reference material so that I know that my targets are getting hit from a mix perspective, whereas my brain was in producer perspective before. So I think as a producer who often goes straight into the mix from my productions, often I just leave it in Logic instead of moving it to Pro Tools. It's easier. So, but I don't do that for anybody else. Like if they send me a Logic thing, it's going to Pro Tools and I'm mixing it faders down to finish. So anyway, Prizzie, it was great seeing you. Thank you so much for answering our questions and tapping in with our audience. Everybody, please thank Prizzie on the chat roll in the comments. And how can they follow you? How can they find you if they want to hire you?
Yeah, you can find me at Prizzie on Instagram. You can also find me at www.mixedbyprizzie.com. Hit my email, hit my management, whoever. I'm easy to find.
Nice. Well, it was great reconnecting with you here, and I look forward to catching up with you again soon and having you up sometime soon, man.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Take care, Prizzie.
Peace.
Oh. All right, back to the show. God, I love that dude. He's awesome. We got, I'm going to do some stupid dope DAW shit. That's what I'm going to do. I think I already did some of my stupid dope DAW shit. I'm going to have to do more stupid dope DAW shit. Okay. I'm still, no, not the Prizzie interview. I got to go back to Kyle. I need to go back to Kyle. Yes. Chat roll. Well, hey now. Yeah, Stream Deck is shit in the bed right now. You know, things don't always work in live broadcast land. Mazzy, you are really making yourself known tonight, bae. You were so calm earlier. It's those, like, super treats. Once the super treats comes out, she's like, listen, I don't know why you serve me that kibble bullshit for dinner, but this is the real stuff. Why am I not getting this, like, morning, noon, and night? She knows. She knows. All right, I'm going to show you the choir. All right, more cool one-off tricks. Here's the... So nice. Here's without the plugins. Okay, so what am I doing? Starting with... Hey, you. Hush. Come on. Come on. Let's get out of here. Get on. Go on. Crazy girl. All right. So, Aphex Big Bottom. This is very similar on the other end of the spectrum to Slate Fresh Air, where a little goes a very long way. If I'm putting this on a kick or an 808, usually I'm not putting my drive above 10. Right now I have my drive at 14, and my center frequency is 219 hertz. Let me show you what this is doing. Whew. Do you hear the warmth and the bigness just come up and fill out that vocal? It's so nice. And then, this is one of my favorite mid-side EQ tricks. I tend to take one element in the mix that isn't a main element, like the choir pad. It's like you wouldn't miss it until you mute it. You wouldn't even know it's gone. You know, you can't pick it out of a lineup. So... I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take the sides with the mid-side EQ, middle, sides, and I'm going to pick one frequency band and push that way out, and listen to what it does. So I have a Q of 1, and I'm boosting 229 hertz, which is also the center frequency of Big Bottom, and I'm pushing that. This is extreme, but just so you can hear how wide this goes. Now listen to it in the mix. Perceptually, I think I had it around like right here. Perceptually, just listen to how the mix collapses a little bit whenever I mute the choir.
Trip for miles, now it's all a blur. Forgetting places and the things we were. Talk for hours sitting on your curb. Yeah, we fell, it's too late now. 'Cause I know I'll never go back.
That's crazy to me. That takes my mix from perceptually significantly outside of the speakers with no phase problems. And then when I mute it, it collapses straight back to the edges of the mains. And this is just a great way to kind of give yourself a wider stereo field without doing a serious stereo spread on your mix bus, which incurs phase incoherency on the mix bus in ways that it won't on a dark choir pad in the middle of your chorus. So one more time, let's hear that result.
Trip for miles, now it's all a blur. Forgetting places and the things we were. Talk for hours sitting on your curb. Yeah, we fell, it's too late now. 'Cause I know I'll never. Trip for miles, now it's all a blur. Forgetting places and the things we were.
I hope y'all entered the Apollo giveaway. We're giving that thing away in like 10 minutes. I have no idea how we're going to do this, guys. Do I need to come down there, or are you guys going to pick it and tell me? Or I don't know. But we're giving away that Apollo Twin X in like 10 minutes, which I am super freaking excited about. Holy crap. I love my Apollo Twin. All right. What else? What other cool things can I show you in the moment? Dun, dun, dun. Let me show you this. Oh, that's interesting.
For miles now, it's all a blur. Forgetting places and the things we were. Talk for hours, sitting on your curb. Yeah, we felt it's too late now. 'Cause I know I'll never go. Trip for miles now, it's all a blur. Forgetting places and the things we were. Talk for hours, sitting on your curb.
So I'm setting up a throw here so that it's, I don't know if you can see, where is this happening? Yeah, it's these right here. So the second half of the verse, as the momentum is picking up, I took the snare and I split it off onto its own separate track, treated it exactly the same as this snare, but added a reverb throw that throws into this seventh heaven. See if you can hear what it does.
Places and the things we were. Talk for hours, sitting on your curb. Yeah, we felt it's too late now. 'Cause I know.
And literally all I did was duplicate the snare. Duplicate. And then I chopped these pieces out of the main snare track, put them on their own track. Same exact plug-in chain as the snare had, and then I just added a reverb send into the seventh heaven, and boom, that's what you got. So it's just a nice way, just like I showed you earlier with that pause moment. It's another way to pick up the momentum and keep things escalating forward and moving forward energy-wise as a mixer. And as a producer and a mixer, I want the song and the feeling of the song to guide me where I think the song should be going anyway. Wow, the chat roll is popping tonight. Ains Boogie's on, Jamie Scott Heatley, hey dude, Dolph, McTean, Garrett, Abannon, Wallex, Niles, Pache, hey Niles. The new track cats, Tarsia Renee. What's up, Tarsia? Man, we got a ton of people. Dave hates 808s. Man, I love 808s. Sorry, Dave. I do not share that sentiment. All right, back to, let me show you these big toms. One of the comments that Kyle made when I sent him the first mix was that he wanted the big toms to sound more like taiko drums. So let me show you how I did that. Where are they? Yeah, okay, here they are. Okay, so there's 2,000,001 ways I could handle this. I am gonna copy this just so I can get back to exactly my settings. But let me just show you some of the versatility of Allcom, because it's still on sale for 50% off for 2 hours and 20 minutes more at mixingnightaudio.com. Mixingnightaudio.com, Black Friday. And you got my 2024 presets pack, which came all straight out of my own mix sessions. Many of which y'all might have heard in the marketplace. Okay, let me show you the difference in chains here. Okay, here's one of the cheat codes that I'm cooking with right now. The oxidate is the reverb. So the reverb number 2 is kind of like I don't know, it's like a break chamber. Sometimes when you put the oxidate pre instead of post, so the reverb gets combined with the taiko drums or the big toms before it hits the compression chain, as opposed to after it gets treated and then it hits the reverb last. I'm putting it into the reverb first, and I'm putting a shit ton of reverb into it. Listen to it with and without oxidate. Now, listening in solo, I would say, there's a frequency in there that's really bothering me. I want to dial that out. And then I put it in the song, and I'm like, well, does it bother me in the song? That's ridiculous. Man, we did it with all comp. I gotta say. I gotta pat myself on the back for that one. That oxidate, it just makes everything so much bigger sometimes with the right source material when you do that. There's also, sometimes I find myself with a vocal using oxidate 4 and dialing it back to like there on pre, and making sure you're mono to stereo whenever you're using the oxidate, mono to stereo or stereo to stereo, so that you're hearing the reverb in stereo. If you're mono to mono, your reverb is going to be mono and it's going to sound like shit, unless it's number 5, which is a mono room. Yeah, let me see what this sounds like on the toms. That's super dope. Okay. I am going to go to DJ Swivel. DJ Swivel just put out, so he's got a whole line of plugins, which I love. I use Click Boom all the time and Nocturnal, or Noctonal. But he just put out this all-in-one channel strip called HitStrip, which is like, he packed things into that thing that I didn't even know you could do with audio that I find myself using to great effect. So it's there's so much packed into it, but it's all laid out really sensibly, very easy to use. I've been using it for mastering and mixing. Check out HitStrip, and DJ Swivel's going to tell you about it. Here he is.
What is up, Mixing Night? My name is DJ Swivel. Thank you for having me, Ken. It is always a pleasure. Today, I'm going to very quickly walk you through my brand new plugin, HitStrip. It's a channel strip plugin, and we took the approach of developing a modern channel strip for the modern era. We wanted to make it visually intuitive for all users, whether you're a new engineer or an established engineer, and we needed to make sure that it met all of the criteria of a good channel strip. It needed to be low CPU, it needed to be low latency, it needed to sound great, and of course, every single control needs to be on one page. The whole point of a channel strip is to be able to mix intuitively, and if you're fumbling around pages, that just doesn't work. And we think we nailed it. So let me do a quick walkthrough. We have our preset menu up top. We have a monitoring control up here. We have a stereo width algorithm where you can widen or narrow the signal. We have a tape saturation algorithm on the color knob. And then in this next row, we have these 7 modules which follow this signal flow. It starts with the gate, and you can see the gate working right now. The threshold on the gate is built right into the input meter, so it's very intuitive. And of course, on the output, the limiter, the threshold is built right into the output meter, so you can very easily visualize how much gain reduction you have and where exactly you're setting your threshold. We have a de-esser, which is built into the spectrum analyzer. We have a 2-band exciter. We have a dynamic section for your compressor and expander, which also has an internal sidechain. So if I want a quick pumping quarter note sidechain, I can very quickly do that. We have an EQ with 3 EQ types. We have a dynamic EQ like this. We also have a transient EQ just to affect the transients, and you can control the length of those. And the tonal EQ, which is sort of the non-transient signal, the sustained part of the signal, and you have a length control on that as well. And then you have a transient shaper, and of course you can even control where in the frequency spectrum that transient shaper is. You can move all of these around. So if you're EQing something, you can move it around wherever you want, and there's also a mix control on all of them. So you can very quickly dial back your mix if a client says, oh, you push it a little too hard. All right, dial it back 10 to 20%, whatever you need. All of the controls, there's visual feedback on everything. On the exciter, you know, when you see the low, you can probably hear my voice getting nice and boomy right now. And that's, you know, we have a little bit of the lows rolled off, so I'm sure that's really nice and boomy there. And we also have a high exciter, gets nice and bright. And of course you can control where that is, and there's visual feedback on everything, which is nice. So now let me show you what I quickly do. This you can use for anything, including mastering. So I thought I would show what we did with mastering on this song. And I'm just going to load up HitStrip here. And what do we have going on? We have a little bit of a transient EQing around 90 hertz. We have a little bit of tonal EQing, a little tonal boost just in the low subs. We have some dynamic control in the mid-range and in the upper mids. And then we're boosting a little bit of the highs, and there's a little transient shaping on the highs as well. We have the limiter set to minus 6.8, and there's a little bit of color, just a little bit of saturation going on. You can think of this like heat in Pro Tools, right? You can just push it. You just want to push it a little bit on the master. So let's A/B it. Let's have a listen, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
We'd argue every night, weakened all our ties, lost all of our fight. We fought the gas and burned off the trust we earned, and this shit, it hurts. Oh, 'cause I don't know what you've been doing. I'm here all alone and I can't take this fucking music. Been hearing a song and
Sounds great. So I'd love for you guys to check it out. There's a 14-day trial for everybody. We're also going to give away a few copies on this episode of Mixing Night. So thank you, Ken. Thank you for having me. Hope you guys enjoy it. Give it a shot. It's become a really important part of my workflow. And in fact, we're going to launch the HitStrip challenge very soon, where I'm going to mix a complete song using only HitStrip as the only plugin. And we're going to assess the results, and then I'm going to give you guys the stems and let you mix along as well. And there'll be a video that breaks down the whole mix. So watch out for that on my YouTube. And other than that, thank you guys for having me, and happy mixing. Peace.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you, DJ Swivel. Me and Swivel go back to the New York City boom bap days. I think Swivel came up with, if memory serves, with Ken Duro-Eiffel. And that's a great guy to be learning from. Jeez. Okay, what is next on the show? I think we're going to do the giveaway next. Oh, my Lord. So we're about to give away a UAD Apollo Twin X. Man, we give away some amazing shit on this show. This is my Apollo Twin. This must be 8 or 10 years old by now, and I still use it virtually every single day. It's my second interface in here, and it's my travel interface as well. This thing has been on 4 continents with me around the world. I've been to Asia, South America, Europe, and America with this thing working. Wherever I go, I know I got my plugins, I got great mic pre's, I got great converters, and I got headphones and a DI if I need it. I mean, it's my go-to. So anyway, I am super excited to be giving away one to one lucky winner tonight. Let me just get it prepped here. Okay. Where is this? Come on now. Yeah, there. Okay. Do I get like a drum roll or something? Where do I give this thing away? Okay, sorry, hang with me for a second. Winners. Oh, okay. And the winner of the UAD Apollo Twin X Quad is... Dun, dun, dun. Aiden Williamson. Aiden Williamson, you just won an Apollo Twin X. Congratulations. Hey, man, that's the second Apollo interface that we've given away on the show. We gave away an Apollo 8XP like 2 or 3 years ago, and a couple smaller ones too. And somebody from the UK won that one as well. So you lucky bastards from the UK, congratulations, Aiden. You got yourself a new Apollo Twin X. Man, that thing is going to be total beast mode for you. Please enjoy it to the fullest. Let's see. I need to go to... I want to tell the J. Colborn Center studio story, but I need to make sure that I get to Ryan West first. So let's go to... are we giving away HitStrip? We are. Yes, we're giving away a HitStrip. Are you guys doing it down there? Yeah, we're going to do 3 in a row real quick. Oh, sweet. We're giving away 3 HitStrips in a row. Thank you, DJ Swivel. Damn. Love that guy. All right, well, we're doing... Here we go. And the winners of the 3 NFRs of DJ Swivel HitStrip are... Bum, bum, bum. And did you guys see throughout the night... Ainsley Salmons wins DJ Swivel HitStrip. Congratulations, Ainsley. Ainsley Salmons? Is that Ains Boogie by chance? Ains Boogie, I hope that's you, baby. DJ Swivel HitStrip, you're going to love that thing. That thing is a monster. When you get into the dynamic EQ, mind-blowing. What? Wednesday Ann, you just won HitStrip. Boom. Wednesday Ann is a Mixing Night OG. She tunes in all the time. And she's an indie artist as well. She does really dope music. I've gotten to mix a bunch of her songs that... Dolph M wins the 3rd copy of HitStrip. Dolph, congratulations! Man, we gave away 3 copies of HitStrip, 5 pick your own plugins from Mixwave tonight. We gave away... Oh, we're giving away the last Mixwave plugin of the night. Let's go! Bob Horn told me about those Mixwave plugins. And he was telling me about the Ashdown bass amp. And then I tried it on a production for Anushka Sen. And I frickin' loved it. Like, I was like, a bass amp? Really? Jalen Goins gets the Mixwave Pick Your Own license, the 5th one of the night. Congratulations, Jalen. Man, we gave away 5 Mixwave plugins tonight. Jalen, I would suggest... the Hazel Rig or one of their top amps. The Ashdown bass amp is phenomenal. That Hazel Rig EQ I showed you earlier, great. I haven't dug into the other amplifiers. I tried the Chimera, I think, a little bit, which was dope, but I need more time with it. So congratulations, all the winners tonight. Damn, you guys are caking. Okay, let us go to my good friend Ryan West, fellow Ohioan, moved to New York City, same as I did, found his fortune there, and I will let you all take it away to Ryan.
What's happening, Mixing Night Audio? My name is Ryan, a friend of Ken's. That's all you need to know, really, truly. In any case, I just wanted to tell you really quickly about something that Ken and I were talking about the other day. We were talking about maybe techniques that we have learned, picked up over the years, maybe something that is out of the ordinary. I don't think this is particularly out of the ordinary, but I think it's something that's worth bringing up. So I had the honor and luck to be able to record and mix with producer Just Blaze on Eminem's Recovery quite a few years ago. And one of the things that I learned during that process was that Eminem is not one of those artists that likes to have his chorus vocals panned left and right. I mean, that's kind of like the thing that you would normally try to do first in order to make the chorus vocals sound lush and big, right, outside of effects, is that you might try to spread them out across the stereo field. Well, as I was working on the record, Marshall came in the room and basically said, that's not really how I do it. I prefer to kind of pan all these doubles, triples, quadruples, however many he did in that song, more to the center. And so that's what he did. What I realized in that moment was that this was no revolutionary idea, right? But it was his style. And it made the song sound way more like him and his style than it was before he did that. So it was just a reminder for me to be conscious of how different artists work and how different artists prefer to sound. Go ahead and go back and listen to some of those songs from Recovery. The ones that I did in particular were Cold Wind Blows, You're Never Over, and No Love featuring Lil Wayne. But if you go and listen to a lot of other Marshall Mathers songs, you're going to find the same thing. There's another artist that I noticed that does this quite often when she stacks her vocals for her chorus, which is Gwen Stefani. Definitely a lot of those No Doubt records, that's how her chorus vocals sound. And obviously we're trying to make the chorus sound bigger, so the way that they create contrast and depth is that the production sort of works out there in the stereo fields for some of these artists. So it might be another sample that comes in the chorus, or in the case of No Doubt, maybe it's guitars or some other keyboards or other instrumentation that sort of like fills out the far left and right, makes it sound bigger and lusher, while that vocal becomes sort of compact in the middle and really has a lot of push and a lot of drive. Now, recently I recorded something with a band called the Vindies, who are all friends of mine, really great musicians. This song is not mixed by any stretch of the imagination, but it was just another example. We recorded 5 different takes of the lead vocal for the chorus. And in this case, to me, it sounds a whole lot better when it's panned toward the middle than when it's spread out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it out for you to the left and the right. We have all these 5 vocals here that are right here, if I can show you. Right? Okay. So we're going to start by listening to them pan left and right, as, would be kind of normal for like a lot of songs you might mix. And then we're just going to put them right to the center and notice the difference. And I'll pick out a couple things for you and see if you hear it. So here it is, just one time around, panned left and right, aka sort of usual, right?
Yes, perfect down, call me, it pounces through me, sparks know me, the way I'm feeling, the way I'm feeling, the way I'm feeling, it's electric.
Okay, so kind of normal, right? You got some on the left and some on the right, and, that might be what you're tempted to do. But let's go ahead and listen to them pan to the center.
Yes, perfect down, call me, it pounces through me, sparks know me, the way I'm feeling, the way I'm feeling, the way I'm feeling, it's electric.
Okay, so what's the difference really there? What I think is happening is that the vocal sounds much more together and thicker in general. Is it spread out left and right and sound wide? No. Does it have to? I don't think so. I think one of the other things that's happening there too is that the modulation that's happening between the different vocal takes makes it sound a lot thicker when they're all stacked on top of each other. So it just, to me, sounds bigger. If I want it wider, there's a number of things that I can do. But, this is just an example of something that made me think a little bit differently. So, experiment, see what works for you. Every song is going to be different. But remember, when you're mixing, you got to think like a producer too, right? So where would a producer put stuff in a track to make it sound bigger and fatter? But not necessarily in the same place all the time. In any case, thanks for letting me talk in your eardrums. Y'all have a great night.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan West. Man, thank you so much to all of the heavies that tapped in tonight and cooked up some of their knowledge for our community. Man, I am just really, really flattered and honored to be able to bring such a wealth of high-level talent to you guys. Please follow all of them on their socials. And if y'all ever need a mix and you don't want to hire me, hire one of them. Who do we got on the chat roll? One more round of shout-outs. Niles Pache, Jalen Goins, congrats on the win, Jalen. Dolph, congrats on the win, Dolph. Mixed by Quad. DeFingers. The Real Shakar. You sang on the Beat the Struggle, didn't you? J. Rel, Ben Kruger, Wednesday Ann. Congrats, Wednesday Ann. You are going to love that HitStrip. That thing is frickin' bananas,ville. Love Swivel's plugins. Let's see. Oh, I was going to tell you some J. Cole stories, and then we are going to end the night on Jamie Scott Heatley's rendition of a song that me, Vinny Prezioso, and Duncan Johnson wrote called Never Seen a White Christmas. And it's our favorite way to close our December shows. But before that, I'm going to see if I can you guys show my screen? And I'm going to scroll through these pictures while I'm talking about J. Cole. So, the J. Cole Born Sinner album. Actually, you guys can show the other images as well. The J. Cole Born Sinner album, I was working on that at the same time that I was working on the Kanye Yeezus album. They both came out the same week. Kanye was #1 for the first 2 weeks, but on week 3, J. Cole's Born Sinner took the #1 spot away from Kanye. So I ended up working on back-to-back #1s. They both went multi-platinum. And with J. Cole, the Born Sinner album, I worked on 10 songs on the album, and I produced all of the live choirs and live strings. One of the honors of my career, I worked on She Knows, I worked on Crooked Smile, Born Sinner, a bunch of the skits. Oh, man, that was such a good time. Some of the same members that I used on the PopCon Beat the Struggle song are my original choir members from the Kanye and J. Cole choir days. So thank you all for sticking with me, killers. But the story I want to tell is when J. Cole comes into the studio to see the string players. He was a little bit late to the session, and we had 16 string players. I think we had 2 double basses, 4 cellos, 6, maybe 4 violins, and 4 violas and 8 violins. So 8 violin, 4 viola, 4 cello, and 2 double bass. I believe that's 16. And they were playing through an arrangement just by themselves without the song rolling when J. Cole walks in. And I'm at the studio glass standing at the front overlooking, let's see, where are we? Boom, like that. So I'm at the front studio glass here. This is not me. And I'm standing here, and J. Cole walks in as these string players are performing their parts. And he hears what song it is because he can hear the notes and the rhythms and the melodies and all that. So he knows that they're playing an arrangement of his song, and his jaw just drops. And he looks at me, and he's like, I always thought that those people out there was the same as this. I had no idea that was nothing like this. And he says, much to his credit, he's like, whenever I hear that in my head again, I'm never going for a keyboard. I was like, well done, J. Cole. So I thought that was a super high-level pro of him. But one of my favorite things that he did is during and after the choir sessions, here's J. Cole at the piano, Alvin Fields, Kanita, a bunch of my choir members. J. Cole got at the piano with me and the choir, and we cooked up skits right on the spot. But then after the session, J. Cole stayed for over half an hour, took pictures with everybody, thanked everybody personally, signed any autographs that anybody wanted to sign, and really genuinely thanked them for contributing to his album, which I thought was just super, super first class. Always loved working with that guy. And this past week or two, the J. Cole The Warm Up mixtape dropped on streaming for real. And the warm up has song 21, Last Call, which is a sample of Kanye West, Last Call. And it turns out Last Call is me and my voice. I have songwriting credit on that song. Here's to the rock. Here's to Rockefeller. Here's to the rock. That's me, baby. I did all of the music on that except for like the moving bass line and the kick, snare, and shaker. Everything else underneath is me. And J. Cole sampled it and put it on the warm-up, so I got more on J. Cole. Thank you, J. Cole. No, that was a nice little writing credit to get. Okay, we are going to leave you tonight, the last show of the year. Boy, thank you so much for tuning in this year, everybody. My Mixing Night community, I just love all of you guys. I'm seeing the chat roll is still lit up. We will be back in January. I think our January show is probably going to be full mix night. Don't know what song I'm going to full mix yet, but it'll be faders down to finished. And February is going to be hardware night. Yes, we are finally getting to hardware night. I think I'm going to show off that new Wolf digital patch bay, like the thing that's like a flock, only like 10 times better. I think I have my eye on that, and I'm going to pick one of those up and show you guys a bunch of my analog gear and how we use it in the mix flow and how we don't use it in the mix flow, and how we record, all that. Hardware night's going to be bananas. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in all year. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Hope you like my new cloud mic. This is my new broadcast mic from now on. And we will leave you with Jamie Scott Heatley, Never Seen a White Christmas. Good night.
So, Merry Christmas to Ken. Laurie. Christmas to Ken, Laurie, Dom, Marcus, and the rest of the mixing team. Have a good one. This is for you guys. I wish it was 20 below. We could make angels in the snow. On Christmas, I keep wishing we could build Frosty, that he wouldn't stay. Another snowman melts away to his grave on Christmas. Winter wishing, and I'm dreaming from my TV screen. I've never seen a white Christmas. I always feel like I'm missing now. I've never seen Santa's sleigh, only got sunny days where it's evergreen. I've never seen a white Christmas. It's at the top of my wish list. Always been far away from them cold winter days, and I wish it were free. Umbrellas and boots in the rain. I'd rather a scarf and ice skates on Christmas. Winter wishing, sipping hot cocoa with fires ablaze. Would Santa please turn all my B's into A's on Christmas? Am I on a good list? And I'm dreaming from my TV screen. I've never seen a white Christmas. I always feel like I'm missing out. Never seen sunny days where it's evergreen. I've never seen a white Christmas. It's at the top of my wish list. Always been far away from them cold winter days. I wish it were free. He's got mama and papa, my sisters and brothers. No snow in the sky, but we've all got each other. The best gift of Christmas is family. And it's all I've ever known. And it's so much better than snow. I've never seen a white Christmas. I always feel like I'm missing out. I've never seen Santa's sleigh, only got sunny days where it's evergreen. I've never seen a white Christmas. It's at the top of my wish list. Always been far away from them cold winter days. I wish it were free.